Welcome back, guys, to another Thursday. Another beautiful Thursday. Always here to help and give back and help those in need in terms of education, knowledge, when it comes to entrepreneurship, business, credit, real estate. Just getting in here. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Invest in Your Future. I'm your host, Kenny, CEO of Corinda Group Corporation. I want to thank you guys for joining me for another episode every Thursday, Eastern Standard Time, around 12 o'clock afternoon. I want to thank you guys for joining me for the previous episodes. I'm getting a lot of comments, a lot of likes, a lot of subscriptions, and I appreciate that, guys. So please leave a comment, leave a like, leave a question. We always interested in interacting with our audience. So please, it's not just about me, it's about us. It's a movement, it's a community I'm trying to build, and I'm really trying to make sure that people get involved. So please leave a comment, like, subscribe, wherever you listen to this. I appreciate you guys on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, or if you listen to this on iTunes, please give us a 5-star rating. And if you do give us a 5-star rating, we're picking people from the audience that we can reach out to and give gift cards to. So please leave a comment, leave a like, leave a subscription, or leave a 5-star review, and you might be one of the chosen ones to get a gift card from us. We get gift cards from all over. It could be for restaurants, it could be for shopping, for shoes, jewelry, whatever. We have a bunch of sponsors that help us out, so they give us a lot of free gift cards. They're actually really for me, but I don't need them, so I give them out to my audience. So leave a comment, leave a like. We're always choosing people weekly, and we send them out a free gift card, or just give them free information in terms of maybe a free book. Maybe we give them to the store, maybe some credit to the store so they can purchase some things. So if you're one of those people, leave a comment, leave a like, and we'll try to see if we can reach out to you guys and give you guys those. We do have the real estate location. We want to make sure it's big enough for the people to come. So look out for that information. We'll let you notify about when it's happening. Most likely it's going to be on the weekend, and it's going to be for people who are starting to get into the real estate game, or people who are in the real estate game and want to scale up, or people who are trying to get their first unit. We're trying to help from all different angles, all people in different situations in terms of the real estate game, and want to help them as much as possible. So watch out for that. Real estate is coming soon, and I'll keep you guys posted in terms of times, dates, and prices, in terms of costs, and obviously locations. So really look out for that. We'll be letting you guys know about that coming up very soon. So today's episode is really a very important episode for those people who are struggling in terms of wealth, and in terms of even relates to business. But the episode today is called The Laws of the Wealthy. The Laws of the Wealthy. Now, people always wonder what makes a person wealthy and what makes a person middle class, what makes a person poor. It's pretty simple. A lot of people are living in one mode, or living in one kind of laws. They follow certain rules that they think they're going to help them get wealthy. Well, the wealthy actually play with a different type of rules and different type of laws. And these laws are the ones that really help them get wealthy. And this doesn't matter if you're poor, middle class, or wherever you are. If you switch the way you act and the way you follow these laws, you could definitely reach massive massive wealth for yourself, for your family, for your business, for your entrepreneurship. You just have to follow these laws like to the T. You cannot divert from them. And if you're doing the total opposite, obviously you're going to be poor. It's that simple, because the wealthy play by different rules, follow different laws, and play different things in terms when it comes to money. So today, there's 6 laws that the wealthy play by. 6 very important laws that a lot of people should follow, and a lot of people don't. And that's the reason they're poor. That's the reason they're struggling. That's the reason they're working a 9 to 5. That's the reason they're in the situation that they're in, because they don't follow these laws. And there's only 6 of them. But if you follow them to the T, I guarantee you, within 5-10 years, you will be wealthy. It's guaranteed. You just have to follow these laws continuously. So I hope you have a piece of paper and a pen and you write these down. And if you don't have a pen, listen to, you always listen to this on Facebook or YouTube. We always have the replay on there, and also we have it on iTunes. Just search Invest in Your Future and you find us on there, so you guys can listen to it again if you need to. So the first rule, the first law is you have to keep a part of all you earn. You have to keep a piece of all the money you earn. I don't care if you have 5 jobs. I don't care if you have 1 job. You have to keep a piece of everything you earn. So think of it like this. If you earn, it doesn't matter how much you earn. I'm just going to break it down to simple math. If you earn $1 or whatever you did physical labor, you taught something, you did some tutoring, you sold the water, you sold the Gatorade, whatever it is, you have to keep a piece of what you sold or what you earned. This comes back to the book Richest Man in Babylon. This is what the whole book pretty much preaches. A small little thick book, but the note is you have to keep a piece of what you earn. Everything you earn, you have to keep a piece. Now, how much do you keep? Now that comes down to your own personal situation, but you have to keep a piece of what you earn because you work so hard physically, meaning you burn energy for that work, for that money. You have to keep a piece of that or what you earn. Otherwise, it's going to be a continuous cycle of you trying to earn the same amount over and over again without anything being left over. So you have to start with something. If you're earning whatever, $10 an hour, keep $1. Keep 10% of what you earn. And you can do the same thing with if you earn $100, keep 10%. But the whole thing is you have to keep a piece. I don't care how small it is, how big it is, start somewhere. That's the first rule of the wealthy. They keep a piece of everything they earn. I don't care how much it is or how little it is, they keep a piece of everything they earn. Start with 10%. That's where I started. Actually, I started with 1% because I wasn't making that much money. And then I started going up to 5%, then 10%, then 15%, then 20%. This is one of the most important parts. That's why it's rule number 1 of the wealthy, or the law of the wealthy, is they keep a piece of what they earn. Well, I love everyone in my audience, all my students, I teach them to try to keep at least 50% of what they earn. Yes. So if you earn $50, if you earn $12 an hour, you try to keep 6 of it. Yes, that's the most important part. But you might not start there, but you want to start with 10%, 5%, whatever the amount is, but eventually you want to get to 50%. Keep 50% of everything you earn. This number 1 rule of the law. And most people don't follow this law, and guess what? They're poor and they're broke and they're middle class, and they're wondering why they're stuck in the same situation, making the same kind of money, because they don't understand the importance of keeping a certain amount of what you earn. And you'll thank me later. All right? Just keep a certain percent of what you earn. Now, law number 2. Law number 2 comes down to what you save, you have to put to work. So the amount that you do save, 10%, 15%, whatever, you can't just have it sit. So people save and say, oh, I'm going to save for a rainy day. I'm going to save for, for this Gucci bag. No, that Gucci bag is not going to work for you. That Gucci bag is not going to bring you any money. Those Louis, shoes are not going to bring you any money. That's frivolous spending. So you have to understand that whatever you keep, whatever you're saving, you have to put to work. It has to earn you money. It has to earn you some kind of multiple. It could be 2%, it could be 5%, it could be 15%, it could be 20%. Whatever the amount is, it needs to earn you some kind of return. Because if money is just sitting in the bank, it's actually losing value. You're actually losing money. It's actually losing. Like your money is decreasing in value every single time it's in the bank. Every single day it's in the bank, it's losing money. Every single day. And you can't fight that because that's inflation. So you need to understand that whatever you're saving, you need to have some kind of multiple where it's earning some kind of return on that money. Somehow, some way. If you're having issues on learning how to do that, we could teach you how to do that. Come to seminars. Buy the Zero to Millions Assets seminar we did last year. It's a great seminar that we did that teaches people how to take their money and flip it and earn it and churn the money. They call it churning the money, meaning you put in $1, next year I want $2. The following year I want $4. Following year I want $8. You want to churn that money. You want it to keep going and keep earning money. Because if you have the money just sitting, you have no chance of creating any kind of wealth. So wealthy people know this. Number two is make sure your money is earned on it. Some kind of return. And if you don't, you will definitely not be wealthy. It's that simple. The wealthy are always constantly trying to find places to put their money. Always. It's a constant battle, because if you have large amounts of wealth and it's sitting, that means your money's losing value every single day and every single month, every single year, and eventually you're going to end up to zero. So you need to understand that no matter what the amount you're starting with, it could be $1, it could be $100, it could be $100,000, it could be $1 million. If it's just sitting, it's losing value. So you need to find a way to multiply that money, make it work for you. And that's number two law of the wealthy. They always have their money working for them, constantly. I want my money to make babies, and those babies to make more babies, and those babies to make more babies. That's how the wealthy think. That's how you should be thinking also. I teach my students all this. Always, always, always have your money working for you. That's law number two. Law number three. This is a huge one. This is a big one. You have to avoid bad debt. The wealthy avoid bad debt. There's a certain point where you can get to a point in terms of money where you don't have to worry about debt, really. There's so much money coming in every single month, but you always want to avoid a lot of debt. So let's say you're earning $100,000 a year, or whatever the amount is. If it's $30,000, just put your number in there. Whatever you're earning right now, and you look at all your debt. If you look at, let's say, credit card debt, car loan, hard money loan, means like you have a high interest loan debt. Let's say a personal line of credit. If you have all those credits and all those debts in your area, you have no chance of creating wealth, because the interest is eating into your wealth. The interest on that debt is eating into your wealth. So you need to understand, any debt that you have, it has to be good debt. The wealthy understand the difference between good debt and bad debt continuously. You have to understand this. If you have all bad debt, how are you ever going to build wealth? Answer that question. If you have all bad debt, credit cards, car loans, bad mortgages, or personal line of credits, or hard money loans, or you owe money to this person and they are charging you interest, how can you ever build wealth? It's impossible. So you need to understand that the wealthy, they only have good debt. Only have good debt. And what is good debt? Good debt is when somebody else is paying that debt for you. Someone else is paying that loan for you. Yes, I have hundreds of thousands of debt, but all my debt is good debt. Means all my debt is pretty much investment properties that people live in, and they pay the debt for me. That's good debt. So now, doesn't that mean that's the only debt you can have? That's good debt. It could be a business where you're starting to get customers, and that debt is being paid by the customers that you're bringing in every single month. Let's say in marketing or advertising, wherever it is. You understand the difference between good debt and bad debt. The wealthy avoid as much as possible the bad debt and get as much as possible of the good debt, because all the debt I have is paid for by somebody else. It never comes out of my pocket. So whatever money I earn, if I'm earning money from my other businesses, from advertising or doing whatever I'm doing on the other side, all that money does not go into paying for a credit card, paying for a car loan, paying for this mortgage. No, this house I live in is paid for by tenants. It's that simple. Everything that you own, that you look at, understand, is that money coming out of your pocket or somebody else's pocket? The wealthy understand that in order for me to become wealthy, I need to have somebody else pay my debt for me. That's simple. The wealthy always, always, always avoid bad debt and get great or good debt. Bad debt is credit cards, cars, jewelry, getting short-term loans that are high interest rate, like 12, 13%, 20%, getting personal credit that they can't pay. Those are the kind of bad debt that could really ruin you and avoid you from becoming wealthy. Understand that. So the wealthy always avoid bad debt and get into good debt. So that's a third rule. Understand the difference between good debt and bad debt, and avoid the bad debt, get into good debt. What's the fourth rule of the wealthy? A fourth law of the wealthy. The fourth law of the wealthy is there's no such thing as a get-rich-quick scheme. There's no such thing as a get-rich-quick scheme. So a lot of my friends, a lot of my family, they call me and ask me, hey, Kenny, I'm looking at this business idea where I'm selling, nutritional products to people, and, I was thinking maybe you'd be interested in joining or whatever. And I always think, what made you get into this business? Oh, I heard that the person that signed me up made $100,000 or $200,000 last year, $400,000. All that stuff is me. There's no such thing as a get rich quick scheme. If something is too good to be true, most likely it's too good to be true. Understand that. No $1 overnight. No one became a billionaire in 2 years. It's impossible. What it takes is time. So understand that in order for you to become wealthy, get away from the get rich quick scheme mindset and understand it's going to take some time. 5 years, 10 years. And it's not that long. It's not that long. 5, 10 years is not that long to become wealthy. It happened like that for me. So understand that for yourself it could happen also. But you need to understand that there's no such thing as get rich quick scheme. If someone's trying to sell you something on getting rich quick, run as fast as you possibly can. Wealthy takes time. It takes discipline. It takes being patient and being responsible. Those are things that make you wealthy. Those are things. There's no such thing as getting rich quick scheme. It's impossible. All those are scams. All those no money down buy a property with no money down, or sell this drop shipping product online and you make $100,000 in 2 months. That does not work. That person was making $200,000 or $100,000 a month. It took them years and years tweaking and trying and marketing and doing all these other things, and then eventually they started making $100,000 a month or a year or whatever the amount is. So it did not happen overnight. Understand that. The wealthy don't think overnight. They think 5 years from now I'll be wealthy. 10 years from now I'll be wealthy. 20 years from now I'll be a billionaire. It's that kind of mindset that gets them wealthy because they know it takes time, it takes and it takes a business. You cannot get wealthy working for somebody else. It's impossible. You cannot get wealthy working for somebody else. So understand that the wealthy always have a business. So if you have the time, if you have the discipline, you have the patience, and you have a business, you have a great chance of becoming wealthy. Anybody that you know that's wealthy has their own business. Guaranteed it. Guarantee it. They don't work for a salary. They don't work for $12 an hour. They don't work for a pension. They usually don't have a 401k. No, these people have a business. They're usually the owner or the CEO, and they push that business to work as hard as possible. So understand that anybody who's trying to sell you something that's get rich quick scheme, I've tried everything. I've tried selling knives. I've sold vitamins, and all those things did not work. It just wasted my money, my hard-earned money, which is a waste. So understand for yourself. I don't care where you're from or where you are. If you are trying to become wealthy, the fourth law of the wealthy is don't fall in love with the get rich quick. Fall in love with the drug and sell, 1,000 products from Alibaba to your friends. Don't fall for those things. Understand, you need to understand that the wealthy, it takes time, discipline, patience. It took me a long time to get where I am, but once I got there, it's endless now. It's endless. So understand for yourself, wherever you are, make sure you have the time. You put the time in. You put the discipline in, meaning you show up every single day. You make sure you're patient. It's going to take some time, 2, 3, 5 years. Make sure you have a business. Do your research. Find the right business that can work for you. The wealthy always find the right business. Find the right business for you and go after it. It's that simple. Don't fall in love with the 9 to 5. No one got wealthy working a 9 to 5. So that's the fourth law of the wealthy. They always have a business and they don't fall in love with the get rich quick scheme. The fifth law of the wealthy, this is one of the major ones. They invest in themselves. The wealthy always invest in themselves. If you find a wealthy person, there's a couple things you could find. First thing is, they always have a library. They always have a library. Always have a library. Always. Matter of fact, they say the wealthier you are, the bigger your library is. It's that simple. The poorer you are, the bigger your screen TV is. That's what they say. And it pretty much correlates. Anybody's house I've gone into, let's say I'm purchasing a house, or I'm looking at a condo, wherever, and I look in somebody's house, and these people have not moved out yet. I look at what their situation is. I see, okay, do they have a bookshelf? Is the bookshelf full of books? What kind of books are on the bookshelf? Is it 50 Shades of Grey, or is it Thinking Grey? And look at their TV. Yes, I have multiple TVs in my house, and yes, it's big screen TV, but I also have a library. Nothing wrong with having both. Does not mean just because I have a TV I'm poor. No, I have a library and a big screen TV. So I'm not saying get rid of your TV. Always invest in yourself. The wealthy, the fifth law of the wealthy is they invest in themselves. This podcast is called Invest in Your Future because when you listen to it, I'm hoping you're going to take the knowledge and take it to invest in your future. It's that simple. The wealthy are always investing in their future, always investing in themselves, whether that's books, seminars, podcasts. It's always something they're trying to find that little extra gold nugget of knowledge. Finding a book that you like and reading it over and over again, or going to a seminar, finding a mentor, finding a coach, finding a teacher, finding somebody that can help you get into that situation. But they're always willing to invest in themselves. One of the best ways you can invest in yourselves is, like I said, find a mentor or reach out to us. We can help people mentor. We help mentor at least 50, 60 people. Reach out to us if you need help. But the whole point is we always looking for people who want to invest in themselves. If you invest in yourself, you will grow. And that's the wealthy do. They're always growing. If you're not growing, you're dying. There's no in between. Remember that. So the wealthy are always investing in themselves, always investing in their future. So their future is always looking bright. So they're always growing. It's that simple. If you stop working out, you're gonna lose the muscle. If you stop playing a sport, you're gonna stop being good at that sport. It's that simple. It's the same thing with business and money. If you stop investing in yourself, stop looking at your bank account is gonna go negative. If you stop reading, you're gonna start losing that knowledge. It's that simple. So the wealthy, the fifth law is they're always investing in themselves, always putting the time in. So what can you do to invest in yourself? The first thing is increase your knowledge. Like I said, books, seminars, mentors, all those things are available to you. So reach out to help. Second thing is increase your earning potential, earning power. That's one thing you can always do, is always increase your earning power. Find a way to increase more money that comes to you. That's number two. The third thing, the final thing, is increase your skill level. If you can increase your skill level, you can always earn more money. So understand that. And that's the way you can improve yourself, is by increasing your skill level. So understand, you can always increase your knowledge, you can always increase your earning potential, you can always increase your skill level. So those things the wealthy are always investing in themselves and always investing in their future to improve themselves. And the sixth and final law of the wealthy is you have to safeguard your wealth. The wealthy always safeguard their wealth. Understand this. We live in a country or in a world where people are willing to sue you for little things. So the wealthy, the sixth law of the wealthy, is they're always finding a way to protect themselves. Now, how you protect yourself? To protect, you build up your cash base, get your assets right, and you can hopefully have something to protect. But if you do have assets, or you do have houses, or you do have businesses, or you do have things that you need to protect, let's say your family from lawsuits and liability things, the wealthy always protect themselves. So what can you do? You can start an LLC, limited liability company, where you put everything you have inside that little LLC, so none of your personal assets get touched. You could have insurance. You could have asset protection. You could have an S corporation. You could have a C corporation. You could have a limited partnership. You can do a bunch of things to protect yourself and protect your wealth. Because once you build that wealth, you don't want to be taken away. You don't want somebody taking away all your hard-earned work, all your years of sweating and grinding. You don't want somebody taking over just because they slipped in front of your house or something like that. So you want to make sure you always protect yourself. Always find a way to asset protect. Every single day, I'm always trying to find a way to protect my assets. Every single day. I don't care if it's a Saturday or Sunday. I'm always thinking, what else can I do? What else can I protect myself? If I have, which I do, I have properties in different states. I have to have an LLC in that state to protect that asset also, to limit myself from exposure to lawsuits and all these other things. Always find a way to protect yourself. You have to do something. The same way you don't just leave money on the table is the same way you always want to protect yourself from lawsuits. Put a guard around yourself. Get away from yourself. You don't want to own too many things personally under your name. It's really hard to do that because when you're really starting, everything has to be under your name because you have to guarantee it. But once you get a certain wealth or certain level, the wealthy always never have anything in their names, ever. The wealthy always have companies or businesses or limited liabilities or S corporation or C corporations or attorneys that put gates around their properties. Whatever it is, they're always trying to find a way to protect their wealth. So understand that the wealthy are always finding a way to protect themselves. Because if you get sued and you lose everything, you're back to zero. you go back to right to zero. So understand that. Always protect yourself. Find a way to, if you're going to start a business, make sure, it's an LLC. It's not your personal names or S Corp or C Corp. Always find a way to talk to a lawyer. If you can't talk to a lawyer, see if you can find free counsel. There's always free lawyers out there who can try to help you out a little bit. They might not be cheap, but some might be free information. So use that to your advantage. So those are the laws of the wealthy. The first law is keep a piece of all you earn. Keep a piece of it. I don't care how much it is, keep a piece of it. The second law is put that piece to work. Put that money to work. You don't just save money to just look at it in the bank. You put that, you get that money and you make it work. You invest it, you make it multiple. You make some kind of multiple off that money. You always make that money work. The third law is avoid bad debt. Avoid bad debt and get into good debt. Good debt is where people are paying your debt for you. Bad debt is where you're paying the debt for. You're paying your debt yourself. So avoid as much bad debt as possible and get as much good debt as possible. Fourth thing is there's no such thing as a get-rich-quick scheme. There's no such thing as getting rich overnight. It's going to take time. It's going to take discipline. It's going to take patience. And it's going to take a business. So find a way to earn all those things and do those things continuous basis for a long period of time, and you will be wealthy. The fifth thing is invest in yourself. Put time into it. Invest in your future. Listen to this podcast. Listen to other podcasts. Get a book. Get a mentor. Get a coach. Find a way to invest in yourself. And the sixth thing is finally is safeguard your wealth. Once you become wealthy, you don't want to go back to zero. So find a way to safeguard it so that your future generation can hopefully enjoy it, and you can hopefully spread and give back a little bit also. Because if you don't have anything to give, because someone took it away from you, you're not helping somebody else. So guys, until next time, I appreciate you guys. We're here every Thursday, Eastern Standard Time. Come join us. If you have questions, comments, likes, I appreciate them all. Please leave us a comment and like. Next week's episode will be Ask a CEO. If you have questions you want to ask me, please leave them wherever you listen to this. If it's Facebook, if it's YouTube, or if it's Instagram or iTunes, leave us a question on, hey, Coach Kenny, how can I do this? Blah, blah, blah. Whatever the question is. Next week is a special episode that we always do, which is Ask a CEO. And you can ask me any questions, and I just go through a bunch of questions and answer them as truthfully and as quickly as I possibly can. So make sure you leave your comments and likes and subscribes. Guys, until next time, I hope you have a great weekend. I'll see you at the top.